Hello. C.S. Lewis once said, God became man to turn creatures into sons, not simply to produce a better kind of the old man, but to produce a new kind of man. It's like instead of trying to teach a horse to jump better, you give the horse wings. So how do we transform to get our wings instead of always trying to jump better? The answer is in Galatians 3:5 that says, "So again I ask, does God give you his Spirit and work miracles among you by works of the law or by believing what you have heard?" This verse says that to receive Spirit miracles, or our wings, we need to hear, believe, and then receive the Spirit miracles. Trying really, really hard does not bring the Spirit miracles that are the life transformations that give us wings. My testimony of this Spirit transformation in my life was seen on a missions trip to the Dominican Republic. I first heard God's nudging to go on this trip to bring a men's retreat and for me to lead the small groups. I then did what I do best, and that was to create a plan to identify group leaders and groups so I could provide some kind of virtual training ahead of time so all the groups would run smooth. But after many months of struggling to identify the names of small group leaders and failing, the trip was upon me. I had failed. No leaders, no small groups put together. So I decided to believe that God would provide, and I boarded the plane. I didn't have a lot of belief, just a little. Kind of like the father in Mark 9:24 that responded to Jesus, "I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief." When the retreat started and the men were pouring in, I had to go up to the Dominican leader and tell him I don't have anyone to lead my small groups, and I don't know what to do. He then grabbed a pad and paper and a pen and gave it to someone and said, "Go find this man some leaders. How many do you need?" And I told him I need about 12. So about 45 minutes later, 12 guys showed up, and I did a little bit of training, but I still had no groups. So we went into the service, had a wonderful service, and when it was over and it was time for the small groups, I just asked the leaders to come up, and I just randomly pulled guys from the crowd and put my groups together. Little did I know that this turned out to be miraculous, because Haitians and Dominicans have not been, at least in that area, in small groups together. And it was something that was miraculous that I found out later. And I believe if I would have put them ahead together out of my own efforts, this wouldn't have happened. So that is my transformation story, how I heard, how I believed, and how I received from the Spirit a miracle, or my wings. Through my efforts of trying to jump better, I would have had non-life-changing small groups. Hearing, believing, and receiving has now become my mode of operation, allowing the Spirit to perform miracles in my life on a regular basis. This Spirit process has transformed the stress in my life, as the burdens for my life are no longer on my shoulders.